Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new year, a new episode, a new Pulp Fictionally. Because she's got an arm.
A new one.
It's a new arm. It's a new robot arm.
I got my arm back.
So when did the cast
I got my
come
arm
off?
back, guys. Yeah, literally yesterday. I had it off. So, like, if you can see, there's a gnarly scar, and I showed the boys. You could show it if you want, the hardware that's in my arm. It's nuts.
Yeah, so you've got to talk about what's in your arm, and I'll bring it up.
I have a 3-inch plate and 10 screws, like all the way through my bone, so they could because my bone was shifting, or like it was like getting misaligned when I was healing, and I had to have a carpal tunnel flush, and they extended my tendon so I can make a fist, but not a tight one. But you could see, I was just showing the guys, like you could see, for those who are listening, my arm is both atrophied and swollen at the same time.
So it balances out.
It balances out. So like you can see, like I can't really bend my wrist. So not much. Haven't been gaming too much.
So is that thing going to come out at any point, or do
no?
you just
It's permanent.
Oh, wow.
It's permanent. So Peachy needs my Wi-Fi password.
Right, fair.
Will it set off metal detectors?
No, apparently not.
And why is that?
I don't know why is that. I don't.
Because it's non-ferrous. You just told me this.
I had to ask. I had to ask. I'm not. I have a girl brain. It don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
A girl brain.
So I have been lying low for the past 2 weeks because I was just such a grouch with that cast on. My
I would
arm
be
was
the same,
so
to be honest. I would have been the
Yeah.
same. I would like, I don't want to talk to any of y'all. I'm gonna
my
just
God,
be
I
like,
Especially if it was his right arm.
yes.
I mean,
That's
I
how you use the mouse.
especially if it's the right one.
I use the mouse in Path of Exile. Get your mind out of the gutter.
He knows. Everything else is automated.
That's true. Yeah. So what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks, like legitimately been on the treadmill, like playing I've been playing the Switch because I could actually hold the Switch because it's made for children. It's light.
Right.
And I'd be on the treadmill sometimes for 3 hours playing Animal Crossing.
The best game for broken wrists.
It's not that bad. I've deleted my island back when I got this Switch. So I took this
I
opportunity.
forget that you own 5 or however many it is.
I personally own only 3.
Right.
But
you have access to
4.
Okay.
I have 4 because my husband has 1.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, it's good.
but that's where, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Did you guys have a good?
Yeah,
year?
like mine was alright. We haven't told the show, but a week before Christmas, I lost my job, unfortunately. So I've been
Where
looking
did you
for
put
work.
it?
It just fell out of my back pocket, and
Was it in the dishwasher?
yeah, it was in the dishwasher along with the keys that we had to get before going to Reading Festival. But yeah, so I've been job hunting. I had a new 3D printer arrive though, so I've been indulging very much
quite the investment.
It's so addicting. It was something that I got to utilize both in terms of making like cool figurines and statues, but also actually
Do you have any projects?
Like I've got about 40 of them, Pulp. I'm not even kidding. Like I've got so many things saved. But yeah, at the moment,
it's a resin printer, right?
No, this is this is an FDM printer.
Whoa!
At the moment, I still got to glue parts of it together, but I've literally made a dragon today. So this is like some of it together. It hasn't got a head.
Made a dragon.
But yeah, literally made a dragon.
That's so cool.
Made a samurai incense holder. So in one hand he holds the incense stick like a samurai sword, which I thought was adorable. I was like, I'm getting that motherfucker. I've got this skull, which basically looks like it's made of the souls of the damned.
You posted that on Insta. I saw that on Insta.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
It's a skull. It's not cute.
You gotta put your hand behind it. You gotta do like the beauty guru.
Yeah.
The booty guru.
The booty guru.
The booty guru. Hang on, that wasn't what she said.
All right. So yeah, so the skull looks like it's made of the souls of the damned, and it has horns. So obviously that's relatively small. But I'm gonna probably get like some translucent filament and make a life-size version. There's one that I probably can't show you, which is this like marble stone lady with crystals growing out of it. In fact, I'll just censor the nipples. So we've got this lady here.
You can show actual art, Brian.
I mean,
Yeah, you can
like,
show actual art.
we've got to be careful with Twitch because they've included VTubers and stuff in it now. They've recently changed the attire rules. So let's just censor the nips. But I've got this crystal lady.
I like her.
I want to paint it so she looks like she's made of sandstone with like amethysts coming out.
That looks really cool. I love that.
And I made a Jacko pose
Yeah,
which I'm gonna make
classic.
I'm gonna make it bigger. It comes with like a base and
You make what bigger, Brian?
Jacko her butt bigger. It's
Thank you.
that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, it comes with like a bush facade.
What I like about FDM 3D printing is you can get so circular with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you print stuff to make your printer better, to print better stuff, to make your printer better. Yeah, well,
That's
it's 3D
fucking
printing.
cool.
Like engineers use this to build stuff. Like
I don't know much about 3D printing. I had a friend of mine. This was a few years ago. I have a whole I don't know if you guys remember. I worked at Anime Expo, and I was hired by Square Enix to be what's her name? Arne Highwind from Final Fantasy 15. I cosplayed as her. That whole cosplay was 3D printed by a friend of mine. They own like a cosplay like company. Like they just like made all like the gear, and they used to go by Geek Crafters. I don't think they're a thing anymore. And that was all 3D printed, and it's so nuts.
I can literally download the Iron Man suit for free. It's available on a website that I was looking at, and I was like, I'm tempted.
Are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna probably print a helmet off, just because the helmet can look cool as a display piece. But the person
you
who
need so many rolls of filament for that.
it's actually surprising how little it goes through. Like I've made all of these pieces and like 1 or 2 fuck ups, and I still have about 1/4 of my first kilo to go through. Like it actually uses really, really little. And when you do like send prints to that you've configured and whatnot to the machine, it'll actually tell you not only how long it will take to print it, but how much grams of the kilo of your reel it's going to go through. So you can actually be like, oh,
just watch.
I can make 10 of these because it's 100 grams each. So that's nice.
So just watch in about like a month's time, we're gonna see Brian like in full head to toe 3D print cosplay Iron Man. That's how he's gonna show up on the next podcast.
Well, like most of the stuff that I want to do are like statues and busts and stuff. Like someone's put up all the like the Blizzard stuff, you know, the stuff that would cost like $800 or $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone's put all of those on there. So there's like Lilith, there's Diablo, Arthas, Illidan, all of those. So I want to get those bad boys done.
You're gonna make a life-size mummy?
I might. I could try. I could give it a go.
I hope so.
I could give it a go. One of the skulls that I want to do, because I specifically got multiple skulls, but one of them it would take 30 hours. And the only problem with that is the vibrations go through the desk and through the floor. And if I'm in my bedroom, I can ignore it, but I don't think my neighbors can. So I'm very, very conscientious of that. And if you stop a print halfway through, it's not very good at like putting parts together. You can glue it back together. Yeah, you can like glue it, but there's like a seam. You can see where it stopped and started.
How long did it? So the bust, the one with the crystal arm, so something that size, how long does it take?
So that took, I think it was 19 hours around about.
Wow. Okay.
So not too bad. There are different settings that you can tweak. Like I've got it to the point where it looks really, really pretty, but it gets a little bit stringy. And you can also do like benchmarks where it's called printing in place. So usually when you do a print, it will put supports for certain areas. Like if there's too much of an overhang, it will build a support to allow it to print. Whereas when you do print in place, the idea is it's supposed to be able to just be printed without any supports. For example, Benchy, the name of this boat. So you usually
he's got a Benchy, you know, he's a CD printer.
This little boat is usually one of the first things you print to like test your printer settings.
Because it's got overhangs and arches and those are different shapes to practice.
And you can get other ones that are mechanical. So earlier I tried doing this engine which has a crank on it. So you can just spin the crank and it'll pump the pistons. And the idea is once you printed it, you don't have to touch it. You should just be able to lift it up, maybe brush off dust or whatever, and then just spin it and it works. I tried that earlier, it took about an hour. But unfortunately, it didn't quite do it. So now I know there's some other settings to tweak, so I can make some things like that. Again, things with more utility. There's stuff that I want to make for the bathroom. There's this actually like really sick coat hangers that I want to make. There's 2 sets. One I want to make for friends, and one I want to make for me. But it's a wolf's head that you mount on the wall, and its jaw is open, and then you hang your coat or whatever in it, and it will close the jaw like automatically.
Oh,
but it's a wolf head, and I'm like, yeah, that's edgy and cool. I like
love
that. So yeah, stuff like that. Like even a toilet roll holder.
I'm really
and stuff
excited to
like
see
that.
some of the stuff you make. Like I love that.
Well, the plan will be to get paints and an airbrush and compressor and stuff like that, so I can actually start doing some proper like as if I was painting miniatures like Peachy, but obviously busts and statues and things. But yeah, that's gonna have to wait until I'm working again.
Hey, you want to know about paint? Hit me up.
Tell me about all the paint. But yeah, eventually that's the plan. I'll also be investing in like loads of different filaments. Like you can get stuff that looks like marble and stone, which I'll probably use for some of the busts and stuff rather than painting them. There's definitely going to be like a Lilith that I'm going to paint and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, naturally.
We'll see.
How big's the print bed?
So cool.
Sorry?
I love that.
How big's the print bed?
So this one's 22.5 by 22.5 and then 26.5 tall.
Okay.
So reasonably sized.
Yeah, that's pretty beefy.
Yeah. So I can, like I said, I can print a life-size skull pretty comfortably within it. So that would be the plan for one of them. But yeah. How was your holidays and New Year's, Peachy?
It was pretty chill. I went up to see my girlfriend. Just had a chill New Year's. Just hunged out with my girlfriend with clothes on. I wasn't hanging out. Okay, sometimes I had clothes. Anyway,
mostly in the mornings.
It was nice. The best thing, which I was like, I don't want to go, but I also want to go because she got me teeny weeny Space Marini.
Oh.
And these are actual size.
My god, that's so cute.
So for audio listeners, they are literally about as tall as a fingernail.
How big is that?
Obsessed. I love it.
It's called epic scale. I'm not sure what the millimeter is because normal ones are 28 mil hero scale. Yeah, these don't even come up to the knees of a regular Space Marine. I can't wait to paint them.
That's
in this box. This one little box, there is 106 infantry. 106 in this little box.
Are you going to go like full magnifying glass and like single bristle brushes and stuff like that? Or
I do that for my normal miniatures, Brian.
Oh, okay.
But no, you don't need a single bristle brush. You just need a good Kolinsky sable. I have many.
Right.
But yeah, I picked with these. I just I used to do it for just little fine work, but now I just use this because I can paint so much faster.
The goggles, Pope, in case you couldn't tell, with magnifying lenses for the.
No,
lenses.
I figured it. I figured that.
It was just the way you were real up close
I
to the
couldn't tell what
screen.
it was at first, and then I was like, oh, okay. For a second, I thought it was like I thought he was grabbing something like a brush or something, and I was like, oh wait, it's
No, the brushes I use are quite expensive. The decent brushes. I also have cheap brushes, but then they're natural hair, so you have to like shampoo them and condition them and stuff. Otherwise, they go bad. Yeah,
same as like makeup. There's makeup brushes that are natural hair that you can do the same thing with.
Well, actually, the company that I get them from also make makeup brushes and stuff.
What brand?
It's they are called. Hang on, Rosemary and Co.
I've never heard of them, but
they're a UK. They're a UK.
Well, there you go.
No, there's like a couple of brush makers, so people who sell brushes get them made by like the same companies, and it's it's post-retirement ladies hand making these brushes. They fancy. Aww. They are really fancy.
Made by professional old ladies.
Made by
yeah. Well, it's such a old lady. It's such a skill that you need a long time to learn it. So
true. Aside from the knackered arm and the removal of the cast, what was the holiday season as a married couple like, Paul?
We spent Christmas Eve with my family, and I was just we're gonna kind of make up for our Thanksgiving with his family later this in 2 weeks.
Right.
We celebrated a Jewish Christmas on Christmas Day, which is Chinese food and movies.
Best way to do it.
But and
was the holiday armadillo there?
No.
That is a very old Friends reference.
It rang a bell, but I couldn't think of what it was.
That one went over my head. But we didn't. The place that we usually get Chinese food from, like when we first started dating, wasn't open for some reason, so we actually made it ourselves.
Right.
We really took it easy, and since my injury, I haven't been partaking in any alcohol at all because for recovery, like just to be safe.
Right.
So we had a we just enjoyed each other's company. I think we played some games we watched movies with friends on Discord. We just kept it very, very calm and low key. Couldn't really do anything.
That's fair. That's fair. Sometimes it's nice to chill though. Like previously, especially during my 20s, it would usually be like, oh, we're going out on New Year's Eve, and it would be me with my mates, and then sometimes my sister, and then I'd come home.
Where I live, it's not really in the past, like when I was younger and I would go out, I would have to I would always just go and crash at people's places if I went out for New Year's, which is not really my MO these days. The other issue, but where we live is we're near a freeway, it's right off the freeway. It's nice, but because of that, New Year's or any major drinking holiday is kind of a pain in the ass because they'll set up a checkpoint right off the freeway.
Right.
So if we decide to go out, we would not be able to really enjoy ourselves anyway because we get caught in the checkpoint, and then, oops, you got a Dewey.
Right.
And no one wants to get a Dewey.
Yeah, fair.
But don't drink and drive, kids.
Yeah.
Do not.
You won't get one.
Certainly
do not be in control of a deadly weapon whilst off your mind on drugs.
So yeah, it's been low key. It's been nice.
Good. Shall we jump into the first topic? I feel like Peachy will have some kind of sound effect or something ready for this one.
Peachy, I'm excited for Peachy's response.
Okay.
First one.
So the first topic is Bobby Kotick is now officially out of ABK. So yes, the Kotick.
Tell me how you really feel, Peachy.
I think technically his last day was the 29th, I believe was the official date. Am I right? I believe you've been following this.
I don't know. I thought it was the last day of the year.
Yeah, it was either 29th or the 30th, 31st. I know it was at the end of the month technically, rather than in the most recent couple of days. But yes, as the deal has finally gone through, he has been kicked out. It's surprisingly quicker than I was expecting. I was expecting him to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help with the transition and look after it for the next few months.
What he said that nobody wanted him to do that.
Yeah. And the thing is, Phil was just yes, nod in the back, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave, and then obviously now it's come about, and he's
man made bank out of that. But I think Microsoft was more than happy to go away.
Yeah,
here is a briefcase full of money.
Yeah,
go the fuck away, and I'm okay with that because he has gone the fuck away.
It's interesting because apparently there have been devs that have now come out since he's gone, and they've said yes, Kotick was directly responsible for making some of our games bad or making features in our games bad.
Shocker.
So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, both with the change of being under Microsoft, but also the change of no longer being under Kotick, what impact that will have on the games at Blizzard and Activision and King, I suppose.
How long was
King ain't gonna change?
I mean, King, to be fair, not a lot of people know, but King's the main reason they bought Activision Blizzard. They didn't give that much of a fuck about Activision or Blizzard, especially Blizzard. Blizzard's actually the least profitable of the three, whereas King, that's the mobile market, and that's something that Microsoft aren't actually that much involved in at the moment. Every time they try, they fail, so they've gotten a studio that knows how to succeed there, and that's King.
Right.
So you were going to ask something, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh no, I asked how long was Bobby Kotick in charge? Would you? Like, how many years?
I believe he was there for like 20 to 30 years. I feel like 26 or 34 was the number.
It was too fucking long.
Too fucking long. Way too long. But yeah, he was there for a while, and he
because
did.
he said that when you mentioned that he was or that developers had revealed that he was responsible for some of the bad decisions. That's where I was like trying to do kind of like the math in my head, like, well, how long was he there, and when did the problem start? You know.
I mean, you also got to take into consideration he was at Activision, I believe, and then obviously Activision took over Blizzard, so it obviously won't have impacted Blizzard for as long. How long Activision Kotick? But yeah, so Activision from 1991 to 2023. So yeah, he was at Activision from 1991. And then obviously they bought Blizzard, I think it was in 2015.
So as Peachy said, he was there for way too fucking long.
Yeah, way too long. But he did make them a lot of money, so it's kind of understandable from that aspect, or from that perspective, why he would be there for so long. But thankfully, he is gone. I'm very, very happy about that. I do hope, at the very least, on
I don't think Peachy was excited enough.
Yeah, he needs to do the whole, t-shirt over the head thing and like screaming.
Peachy's got flashes.
On July 1st, on socials where everyone posts Happy New Year, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I was like, happy Bobby Kotick's fucking gone. Day,
I saw that. Yeah. But yeah, I think on the basis level,
that guy.
Yes, fucking very much. But on the basis level, I think it's going to be good, probably for morale of folks that work at like ABK, particularly those at Blizzard.
I bet they had one hell of a pizza party after he was gone.
Yeah, can you imagine? People are just
the biggest pizza party, the best pizza party ever.
Nothing got done in that office that day. Everyone's just like,
so someone's opening the fridge going, "Where's all the breast milk gone?"
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Why'd you go there?
Too soon. Someone has to be accountable for it.
Why did you go there? Wait, is there something about that?
Oh, did you not know?
What's the breast milk?
So there was actually. Oh my god! Oh, Pulp, you sweet summer child.
Oh god.
So folks, obviously,
we're gonna cover this on the podcast now, aren't we?
We're gonna touch on it briefly.
I need to know. You mentioned you can't just drop breast milk in the fridge.
Yes,
you can do whatever you like, dude. No one's policing that.
So there's like breastfeeding stations, and one, they apparently weren't kept very clean or anything like that. So there'd be like literal breast milk all over the tables and stuff, and the tables they used were like old. But also where they store breast milk, people would steal it. And probably consume it and stuff like that. So yeah, there was a bit of a scandal amongst all the other scandals that came out in the recent 2 years.
Someone was thieving breast milk from Activision?
No, not someone. There was way too much going missing for it to be one person.
Yeah, it was
what if it was Bobby Kotick?
Yeah, unless it was being piped directly to his office.
That was the joke that I was going for. But yeah, that's the context. That so on, or some people have been stealing breast milk from ladies trying to, feed their babies.
I'm so proud of this podcast.
It's gaming news, Get your gaming news.
Gamer stups.
Bodybuilders think that breast milk is better.
That sounds like a gamer stup that Bricky would make. Titty milk. That 100%. Bricky would like, you know what?
Yeah, someone would definitely do it. Gamer stups are like so happy to meme on that sort of thing as well. Yeah,
so that's the lore behind that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that, like the titty milk, and I was like, what the fuck?
Do they have one called hentai juice?
I think they've had all sorts.
They have all sorts.
So just to be clear,
I've heard nothing but good things about gamer subs, but man, going on and perusing their flavor selection, it's like, my God, have I not do it at work. I've never lost my appetite faster.
Right? Yeah. It's definitely a strange...
I'm sure they're delicious, but like with some of those names, I'm like,
they definitely know who the market is. Let's say that.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're memeing it up.
It's definitely the DJ
people sat at their PCs who do not need any more energy.
Yeah.
I respect how much fun that they have with their brand.
Yeah, true.
And I have heard nothing but good things about them in comparison to like G Fuel.
They're the D brand of drinks.
I feel like D brand are a bit classier. I don't know why we're talking about this, but yeah, what I mean is like GamerSups are like their target audience is D-Gen kind of thing, whereas D brand just don't give a fuck kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't think GamerSups clearly don't give a fuck though.
No,
they don't give a fuck.
Not. Yeah, it's a different.
I respect their game, man. They're getting their bag. I respect their game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do we have any other comments to
Guacamole Gamer Fight? That was one I remember. Jesus Christ.
Isn't that Badger's Guacamole Gamer Fight? Russian Badger. I know he's got like a weird fart one. But sorry, were you going to say Peach?
No, someone put that in my chat, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, GamerSups, I want a Bobby Kotick breast milk, please. Thanks.
Well, they already have a titty milk flavor, I thought.
They probably do. They probably do.
Sworn. I got
specifically Bobby Kotick's breast milk. The ones that he was
Bobby
stealing.
Kotick's titty milk.
What if it comes out, right? No breast milk has been stolen past that point when he left.
That would be funny. If I
would continue to steal it until he left.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If I was the guy stealing it, I would just stop because Kotick left and just make it look like it was him just for the troll. I would totally do that. I'd be like, you know what? I could do without this nourishment. For the memes.
Yeah, there is a titty milk one. What is the flavor of that?
Let's move on from the titty milk, shall we?
Let's move on. Bye, Bobby Kotick. I'm looking forward to
that.
playing Activision Blizzard games. I might even spin up a COD. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. Although apparently not the latest one, because that one's a wee bit short. Apparently, as Christopher Judge joked about.
As long as it's long enough for a stream. I've always enjoyed the single player experience.
No, true.
COD.
Yeah,
they're stupid, right? It's like I watch movies like that. I absolutely play games like that.
Well, that's the thing. If anything, they are genuinely good, or they were at least. I think the last one I played was the one with Jon Snow in it, and not Ewan McGregor, the other McGregor, the MFA fighter. Yeah,
Colin McGregor.
Whatever.
I'm just thinking of Scottish names now.
Yeah. So
there's two McGregors. It's a natural mistake to make.
Like, when it comes to the story for the campaign, it was usually pretty well written. You know, it might not exactly be like groundbreaking.
No, that is not my experience at all. They're all terribly written, like schlock. Throw popcorn in your face if this was a movie nonsense with explosions. That's in my experience.
Okay,
like that's what they've always been, and that's what I've enjoyed about them. To be fair,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I was speaking from like the critic perspective in that case. They are known for being like popular.
The last good one, like written, I don't know about well written, but definitely written, as opposed to the more modern ones, was the first Black Ops. I was like, oh, okay. But then they also did the numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Which was also ridiculous.
It's true. It's true. How about you, Paul?
But that one did feel written.
For Call of Duty?
No, just for like, is this going to have any impact on you going forward with him being gone, like Blizzard Games? And
probably.
games?
I mean, I haven't really thought about any of their games lately. What is like? What have I played that's Activision? I don't even know.
When I
reminded my girlfriend, Bobby Kotick's gone today, and I'm like, ooh, and she's like, I can play Hearthstone.
True.
She's excited to play Hearthstone.
Yeah, Hearthstone. There's the Blizzard games, Diablo, StarCraft, WoW, or World of Warcraft.
Probably won't play StarCraft.
Yeah, I don't play any of those, so I'm not
because the new one is coming out. Isn't it?
I'm not like a big Blizzard fan, so
that's fair. That's fair.
Honestly, it might not impact my life at all.
That's fair.
If I'm being completely honest, when you ask me that, I'm like,
I can guilt-free now.
My life? Probably not.
I can play the Tony Hawk's games guilt-free.
Yep, Tony Hawk.
Oh shit, Crash Bandicoot is Activision. There it is.
There it is.
It was Vicarious Visions that did the remakes, and then they got absorbed into Blizzard's Blizzard Albany now, I believe. So, which I'm actually a little bit sad about, because they did an amazing job with the Diablo 2 Resurrected like remake, and also the other remakes they've done. But I feel like now they're never going to make any cool remakes because they're part of Blizzard. It's like, oh, that kind of sucks because they're actually super good at it. And I just wish they would have like more opportunities to just like, let's get an old game and make it really sick in a modern age. Yeah. Next subject, we shall jump into. Do you want to talk about some Warhammer, Peachy? You've got a fair bit to talk about.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
I don't have a fair bit. There's just bits and pieces. So no, I don't. There is some definitely some news. I guess I'll leave with that. So Bryan Ansel has died. Now Bryan Ansel was the co-creator of Warhammer. He founded Citadel, who made the miniatures. It's all one company now. It's all Games Workshop, but he's responsible for moving everything from London up north. Well, not quite north, but moving everything to, be the center of miniature gaming, which, I mean, it's pretty big now. So maybe the center of miniature gaming of the world. He did leave in like 91, though. So it's not like he was there the whole time. But he is responsible for a game called Laserburn. And there's a lot of stuff in Laserburn that is, that's very 40K. Like it's got power armor and bolt guns and Space Marines and stuff like that. So he was very influential. So he is both liked by some people and not liked by some other people. He definitely sort of, people were split. I think he had a lot of respect for what he did, but I don't think everyone was like, oh, the greatest guy in the world, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So yeah, he died 68, I think he was. Yeah, 68.
Oh, that's a pretty long life. Kind of young, but...
So him and Tom Kirby co-created the first Warhammer Fantasy Battles, which then was called Warhammer Fantasy, which then Warhammer Fantasy was then stopped with something called the End Times. They wrote the end to the story and they made Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is then the flagship fantasy game. And speaking of which, they have just launched previews. Have gone out to creators, and pre-orders are now gone live on Warhammer: The Old World, and that is Warhammer Fantasy. When I should give you some background, when Warhammer Fantasy, they wrote the End Times, and basically they went, "Oh, we're going to this new world," and then it was the whole Sigmar stuff.
Right.
A lot of people were very upset. Age of Sigmar is actually a really good game, but a lot of people were very upset and burned by that. So I think this is a tax on nostalgia.
Right.
There are some people who are very excited for it. I'm personally not, but I'm not a big fantasy guy, so I'm probably not a good baseline to be quite honest. But I've had a look at what's in the box, and there are two starter sets. It's not the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. It is the Tomb Kings and the Bretonnians. And in these big boxes, the value is pretty good. Can't remember how much they cost. But in the Bretonnians, you've got 20-year-old sculpts in there, 20-year-old sprues and stuff. So it's not the most finessed of sculpts. Some of them are okay. They're not bad. I mean, no sculpts are bad, right? But big mole lines, misuse of plastic when casting and stuff like that. So in the Bretonnian box, you've got a brand new model, which is, I think it's a Pegasus it's something big with wings. It's pretty impressive. But that's a brand new sculpt that's in the box. The rest of it, because it's all rank and file, is copies of the same sprue, which they are posable, but they're 20 years old. And if you go to the Tomb King box, they have sculpts in there for the skeletons that are 30 years old.
Damn.
I
think I used to have some skeletons that are 30 years old when it comes to that.
Yeah, there is a brand new sculpt in there. Yeah, there is a brand new sculpt in there. It just feels like, hey, we've still got the dies for these things. Some people might buy them. I've seen a lot of people who are very hyped for this.
Yeah, I mean, nostalgia does get people like that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
even if it is ugly as well, like look how ugly it is, isn't it great?
Yeah,
kind of thing. Like,
there is something to be
that.
said about old Hammer, like the super old sculpts. They're charming, you know. They've got a lot of heart. Someone
I love that
made
you
that.
call them Old Hammer. That's so cute.
That's the term for it. So
I really adore that name. That's great. I just imagine like some geriatric little teeny mini figurines.
It's old Hammer. It's I don't know. I'm not thrilled about it. When I saw the box, that it's some of the sculpts are pretty fucking old.
That's fine.
I don't know. Look, I like fantasy was never my thing. I like sci-fi. I'm interested in some stuff that comes out of Sigmar, but I'm not. It's fantasy at the end of the day that I'm not super excited, and I don't want to shit on someone's excitement to get that model that they wanted when they were a kid, but couldn't because they were a kid, right? And now they can buy all the models they want because they got disposable income.
It's just on your back. Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It does feel like they might be taxing nostalgia a bit, since as how old some of these sprues are.
Yeah,
but is that what people want? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll soon find out if they immediately take them off the shelves and they're like, yeah, no one wanted them kind of thing, or if they continue to make more. Who knows? Who knows?
They stopped making old fantasy battles because no one was buying it anymore. So is there a market there now? Is it just going to be like, how often are they going to update it? Will there be new models for it? Because they have Age of Sigmar, which is very popular. It's not as popular as 40k, obviously, but it's very popular. People buy it, they play it. The models that like they're coming out with models quite a lot. It's updated and it's supported. Now, if you're looking at something like because they got the rights for Lord of the Rings, and that here's a new model. You know, maybe during a special event they'll announce 2 or 3 models. There might be, you know, some updates for some rules and stuff like that, but it's not like Warhammer 40k is. So what we got now this month, we got this one, this, like, that is being pumped out, and Sigmar is not quite as regular as that, but it is not slept on.
It's consistent.
Yes. Yeah. I just don't know. I think I just don't get it. I think that's it. Maybe Warhammer Games Workshop are like, there's money on the table for people who won't play Age of Sigmar because they love fantasy. And if they buy it and it keeps selling, they will support it, obviously. And only time will tell. It's just, I've seen people very excited, and I've seen a lot of people just like, huh?
It's probably a test more than anything, because I imagine obviously it wouldn't really be that much to make now, because if they've still got like the molds and everything from way back when in a warehouse just collecting dust.
Well, molds have to be replaced after a certain amount of pressings. Sure,
but like you don't have to machine new.
No, they do have to machine them out of a like a master, so they probably got the masters, obviously. But those molds
that's usually
don't
the
last.
expensive part, the master, like the main bit that you make.
Well, yeah, it's every time you have to make a new cast, and after a while, I think they call it diesel burn. Like things will start blowing up and burning in there, and it'll distort and warps. I don't know. I just don't get it. And if you do, and you're like very hyped about it, cool. They brought something back for you. I think that's cool.
That's awesome.
Because it doesn't feel like a money chasing thing, although there is money on the table, like I said.
Yeah.
For nostalgia, it doesn't feel like here we go. So maybe it's just, hey, you guys like this? Here you go. Here's some new updated rules. The lore, though, they've rewritten the lore and stuff because they ended the world when they stopped it last time. So they've gone back, they've changed some stuff. It's really cool lore, but it's kind of in the middle ground between like high fantasy Sigmar and Lord of the Rings. Basically, it's somewhere in the middle there.
Right.
Speaking of lore, have you seen Rebel Moon yet?
No, but you're not the first person to tell me I should.
It's clearly inspired
by I feel like
by
you
Warhammer.
might. Yeah, I feel like you might like it, Peachy. It wasn't really for me, but
is it on Peacock?
No,
it's actually not on Peacock. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah,
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
My husband and I watched it. But it's pretty neat. There's some cool stuff in it.
It was entertaining. one thing I thought was a little overdone was the slow-mo action shots. Like,
oh god,
Snyder really likes doing those.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Snyder for that reason. I don't like the overuse of slow-mo. Kind of irks me a bit because it feels
like
tacked on sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
however,
it felt
Rebel Moon was pretty dope.
Yeah,
I think Peachy might like it.
It was a good entertaining movie, but the reason I mention it, Peachy, is because, like I said, it was clearly inspired, I think, by Warhammer. I don't know if Snyder's known for being a Warhammer player or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm not here to the contrary either. So.
Yeah, there's definitely like, at least in terms of visuals.
Is it not
like,
available in your country? Is that what you said?
It should be.
I misheard you. I thought I heard you say it wasn't available in your country. I was like, oh, what?
No. I'm sure you'll find a way to watch it anyway. But yeah, it's you're not going to see
legally. He means legally.
Legally.
We don't support pirating on this channel.
No, Brian the Pirate does not. but yeah, like you're not
even
see...
pirates listen to their mothers. Don't steal, kids.
Pirates are law-abiding citizens too.
You'll be surprised how many people ask me, so are you really a pirate? And I'm like, yes, mate, I pillage and burn coastal towns all the time, kind of thing. But yeah,
you've got a galleon out back.
It's on the tram lines. I take it down to the shops. But yeah, it's not gonna. You're not gonna see like a space marine walking around like that or anything. But a lot of the designs of the armor and like the fascist regimes and stuff like that, you're definitely looking at going,
what's it called?
Rebel Moon. So it's going to be like a 2-part thing. This is only the first part, and then I think the second film comes later this year.
With it was kind of like rubbed me a little weird was like I felt like I really did not like because they were collecting all of, like their cast obviously for like whatever's going to happen in the second part, and there was a few times like if I didn't pay attention close enough I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. It definitely feels like it would have been a really good like series.
It would have been better as a series. I agree, because I feel like it would have given Snyder a lot more time to develop these characters and giving you an opportunity to care for them. Because there's like, there was like this. I don't want to spoil it, but there's that one chick, the swords lady. I don't know. I forgot. I don't remember her name. But like when they were introducing her and her whole stick with the spider or whatever. And I was like, I want to know more about her.
Yeah, it's like,
I just want to know more. Give me more about her.
We learned like, about you in 5 minutes, and that's about it. And it's like, cool.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like you got like thrown in like in the middle of like some conflict, and it's fine. It's fine. I feel. I agree. Like if he made an entire series, even like a mini series, it would have been so much nicer. So he could have taken time, like even developed or dedicated a whole episode to each character to really establish their backstory, and it gave you a reason to care about them. Because that's probably my main gripe, because it felt a little rushed. Like, hey, we got to get everyone together.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like
the promo art looks very Star Wars.
I thought it was Star Wars too. Actually, I think my husband thought it was Star Wars because there was a Rebel One. I think that's where yeah. And when we were watching it, we were like, wait a minute, this isn't Star Wars at all.
Yeah, no.
I don't think it's Star Wars, guys. Why would Star Wars be on Netflix?
They actually advertised this back at, I think it was not the Game Awards, but the Summer Games Fest last year, I want to say, and they got like Papa Jeff got Snyder on stage. He's like, yeah, it's like inspired by games and shit. And so
I've just seen a bit of promo art that is very Warhammer.
Yeah, like give it a watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably like obviously not being a huge Warhammer nerd, I would say aesthetically there's definitely some things you're gonna see and be like, that's Warhammer inspired. Motherfuckers play Warhammer kind of thing. But
there's a little bit, I could see it being both like Warhammer and a little Star Wars-y, like at times. And I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Who is it? Anthony Hopkins is in it. He's the robot.
He's a voice. Yeah, he's a voice of a robot.
Yeah, he's a voice of a robot. It's great. I just love Anthony Hopkins. I'm fully convinced he was born old, but I love that man more than anything.
Did Anthony Hopkins act? Because he's a Welshman. Did he act when he was younger?
I don't know. My mom has the biggest crush on Anthony Hopkins. So like growing up, I watched a lot of Anthony Hopkins.
The first thing I saw of him was Silence of the Lambs, probably.
Yeah, and he still like looked pretty like he looked like he was pretty old. That's
like the poetry. Like, he's perpetually old.
He just came out of the womb old. And that's fine. That's his vibe. Like I love Anthony Hopkins. I don't mean that in a bad way.
It looks
Respect
like
that man.
He did do some earlier films, but Silence of the Lambs.
What did he look like when he was younger?
I can't tell you that because I'm just looking on the wiki, unfortunately.
No,
but,
I'm gonna look it up myself while you're doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, he's obviously most known for like his biggest role or biggest first role would be the Silence of the Lambs. But he was doing stuff back in the
he kind of always
60s.
looked the same. Even in like he always had that hairline.
He just
even when he was
old.
younger.
Oh wait,
he's 86.
I mean, I've had this hairline since I was 18. So.
No, you're my brother. Same. He lost his hair when he was 23. He used to tell me all the time I would lose mine too. Jokes on him.
Look at
just
you
walk
now.
around like this.
Yeah. One thing I would say, be mindful of, Peachy, is there is a lot of random slow-mo action shots. Like someone will jump.
If you're not really into that, it's going to be very distracting.
Yeah. Sometimes it's spot on, and then other times it's like, oh, the man is jumping,
There's
therefore
also...
we have to do the jump in slow-mo.
Okay.
And it's like,
there's
wow.
also a little bit of a sequence.
Yeah.
There is a sequence too where there's a lot of CGI that I remember being pretty jarring. I'm pretty sure like I don't want to spoil any part for Peachy, but
I don't remember any jarring part.
It was a flying sequence. Maybe it was me. I'm a little bit like I thought there was just way too much CGI because the whole thing was CGI.
Yeah,
and it was just a little obvious for me, so it kind of like it took me out. Like I want to be invested.
Right. 100%. I also watched The Creator immediately afterwards, which I did actually quite enjoy. I found
what's The Creator?
So The Creator is it's where humanity has created AI, but like actual AI, not AI as we know it. And then the AI is like, oh yeah, cool, we're gonna make humanity great and everything like that. And then something happened due to a bug, like a generated bug by a human, made the AI like cause like a horrible accident in the States where they like bombed a certain thing or something exploded and something was involved, and they held AI accountable for it, the States. So then America's like, fuck AI, we're going to come for all the AI around the world, despite the rest of the world being like, no, we're okay with AI. That was like your very local problem. So they start like invading like Japan and stuff to get to all the AI robots and things like that. And then there's this special weapon.
Oh, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this special weapon that the US have been trying to hunt down, and it turns out to be a child, and that's as much as I'm going to tell you. But yeah, give it a watch. No, it's on the same level.
This sounds like something my husband would like.
It's on the same level as like Rebel Moon in terms of level of entertainment. Like it's something you can watch. You may only watch it once, but once you watch it, you're like, I don't feel like my time was wasted. I enjoyed it, but I'm going to move on and probably not watch it again unless I'm extraordinarily drunk and someone asks me to watch it again. Kind of thing.
like Shrek
Rebel
2.
Moon or The Creator?
Both, to be honest. I very rarely watch movies, at least nowadays, more than once.
We've been watching a lot of movies, like, and lately I've been kind of like movied out. So, and but
me and my girlfriend watched Die Hard 2 over the New Year's. I say we watched it. I watched it. She saw the intro and fell asleep. Yeah, but I had a lovely time.
Yeah.
We watched Die Hard 1, I think 3 times for this holiday season, and
3 times?
Violent Night. Kevin and his Die Hard, you don't get in the way of it.
I'm just quickly trying to get to the third Die Hard because it's my favorite after the first one. So I guess
the first one's great, and Violent Night is our new tradition for Christmas.
Right.
Have you guys seen that one?
No.
It has David Harbour from Stranger Things, and he plays as Santa Claus, and it's like it's like the over the top. It's like the over the top like Christmas movie, like very violent, and there's a lot of like nods to like older movies like Home Alone in it, and I love Home Alone. We watched both the first 2 Home Alones was the only 2 I care about. And there's just a lot of sequences like the like they'll do the same hijinks with like the little kid making the traps,
yeah,
but they're a lot more brutal. Like one guy just like they're incredibly more brutal, and it's like it turns out like Santa, like there are whole backstories of like why David Harbour is Santa. It's so goofy and silly. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. That's a fun Christmas movie to watch.
That's fair. Yeah, I tend to avoid like horror and thriller and gore and stuff in general.
It's funny. It's funny though. Like
I like movie gore.
It can be gruesome sometimes. Like there's somewhere where like, because we watched it at my mom's house and my 11-year-old nephew was there, and we were like, oh, maybe this is a little too much for him. But like they have a lot of fun with it, so I like it.
I'm okay with like if a head's exploding, I'm like, yeah. But if I watch like a reality TV show in surgery, I'll be like, no.
I think you would like it then, Peachy, because it's really goofy and they make fun of like you'll like it. I think. I don't want to spoil anything because
that's fair.
There's some great reveals, and I don't want to like. I don't want to spoil stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
I try to be respectful of people so they could see it the first time.
Wow, respecting people in current year. What the fuck?
I know, crazy.
Shall we have our break and then come back for the remaining topics in part 2?
Yes, please.
Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go take a break, probably about 5 to 10 minutes. Go get yourselves a drink, stretch your legs, look out the window or something like that. And mics will be, of course, as usual, hot. And welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of episode 23 of the year 2024.
Hi.
Podcast. And we
haven't seen you guys since last year. Somebody clip all those noises, please. Make a song out of it.
No, because it basically just sounded like different versions of gagging. Let's be honest. It was just bad. It was just bad. But let's jump into the first topic of the second half. I'm going to actually let Peachy take a bit of the lead on this one because.
You should.
I'll introduce.
I've just been looking at some interesting stuff about it. I don't really have a lot about the story.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. So there is a young man, a young gentleman, age of 13 years old. He is a streamer on YouTube. The reason he's on YouTube, if anyone's wondering, is because he had an account and got banned off Twitch for being under 13. So that's why he streams on YouTube. So hopefully Twitch will be like, oh, look at this little boy. Let's let him have a Twitch account again. Because obviously that could go quite well for him. But anyway, 13-year-old Blue Scuti, which is
Scuti.
It's quite the name. He essentially beat, inverted quotes, OG Tetris. Basically, the game reached a certain point and the game just couldn't handle existing anymore, and that's like a way of beating the game.
When Bryan says OG Tetris, he just means a very early version of Tetris, not the original Tetris, which was on a Russian coded machine, 8-bit. He means the NES version.
Yes, apologies.
Which is for a lot of people the OG Tetris.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So yeah, he basically like broke the game. Like he beat it in no uncertain terms.
He got a kill screen. Is yeah.
Yeah. There was a bit of like, obviously there was a lot of celebration. You can see the clip online. He's obviously very, very stoked and is like been striving to achieve this thing. But he was on, or rather, it was reported on BBC News, and the anchor, some silly boomer tart, is just like basically telling him to touch grass, and was like, oh, you shouldn't have like games as an ambition. To go outside. If he was my son, I'd tell him to go outside, and as a mother, I think he should do this and this. Bearing in mind, in the same like news cycle on that day, she was like propping up some dude who's a darts player and a teenager, and they're like, oh yeah, this darts player is really
16-year-old.
Yeah, and it's like, mate, all you do is stand and throw darts. Like, how is that any like better or worse than some guy playing video games and like trying to achieve and strive for something? So yeah, that she wound me up. But as I said, Peachy has been looking a bit further into it. Do you want to tell us?
I just get nerdy about shit, right? And I do love my retro games. But like people have been speedrunning Tetris for like 35 years. No one has ever found a kill screen Like, this is a monumental achievement. It has also exploded speedrunning of Tetris. Like, because, you know, there's a small community that play different games. Tetris has grown a bit since this. So it's very cool. He's actually fairly new to the Tetris speedrunning scene. A history of speedrunning Tetris, very small history of speedrunning Tetris. At level 29, the game, each level, the when you get a certain amount of lines, it speeds up, right? So everyone's played Tetris or seen it been played at least.
Never heard of it. Sounds like a new game.
They're actually called tetronymos, those shapes. Anyway, yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah. Sorry, I like
level 29.
So level 29, the game gets so fast that by holding the button down to move the piece to the left or to the right, the game is going too fast for you to be able to do that. So it was level 29 was called the kill screen. That's how you completed Tetris, right? And then after many years of people playing Tetris and stuff, somebody found a new technique where you basically tap the button and you tap the back of the controller and you can push those buttons a lot faster.
Yeah, so you push the controller into your finger or your thumb rather than pushing down. So you basically just keep tapping it up and it'll knock it into your finger instead.
Which was called hyper tapping. And people were having a lot of good stuff with that.
Something like 16 presses a second. It's crazy.
That might be. Dude. So then there was another technique which was called rolling, where it's similar. You hold the button down, but then you roll your fingers. You like tap your fingers like this, and you can push it a lot faster. So people were getting further and further. But you know, the people were getting however far. And then some guy made an AI who just played a modified version of the game because they're not limited to how fast they can push a button. They can just go, yep, put it there, right? And they found that there is a code breakdown at level 55. If you do a single line at level 55, the game goes, nope. But this was deemed impossible for non-tool assisted speedruns. Like, people couldn't do this. And then people started getting further and further and higher and higher up the levels. Then Scuti comes on the scene. Like I said, he's a young lad. What is he, 13?
13, yep.
Yeah, 13.
There's been people who've been pushing the scores for a while. He comes along and he's been playing. He's got some high scores and stuff. And then he hits the kill screen. But he doesn't hit the first kill screen because he misplaces a block and he has to save himself. So he makes like a 4 block or a 3 block or something. But then the next kill screen comes along and he completes it. And he's the first person to ever reach a true kill screen in Tetris. Now, I know how this works. I don't know if I should explain it.
I think you should, for me, because I am very curious.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure other people are too. You're going to be curious with me.
Well, the first barrier for kill screen, not for speedrunning, was the colors start to change. There's a table of different colors that are all very readable and stuff, and it cycles through. And when it gets to like the 10th one or the 9th one, it goes back to the start and it rolls through them again.
Okay.
But after a while, there's a lot of code going on with the scores going up and the levels going up, and it starts to read the color information directly from RAM, from random code, right? So the numbers go crazy, and then there is this screen. I think it's called midnight, or no, it's called dusk. And dusk is a very hard to read dark screen. And people were like, oh my God, like the first person who got there just immediately died, and people couldn't get past it. It's a very difficult one. Then people got past that somehow, and they got to the new end of the game, which was called charcoal, which is almost completely black. Like, you can't see it. Scuti has got past that, and he's got his kill screen. What actually happens is really interesting to me, is how Tetris does math. So it's doing like decimal math, but it's doing it in the way in binary, right? And then it converts it back to draw it. And okay, I actually wrote it down because it's a little confusing. So at level 55, which is where the first kill screen is, it takes, when you do a line, it takes the score from level 0 and it does the math 156 times.
Okay.
And every time you max out the score, which is 99999, which is reached a lot earlier, at every sum, so of these 156 times, it does the sum again, and it maxes out, rolls back the number, then does the next series of instructions to do the math. So like it's doing the math, and then you've got another processor that is printing to screen in between the V blanks, and this math gets so long that they want to draw the screen. So it stops the computing from adding up, and the computer goes, okay, I'll get back to this later. It draws the screen and it goes back. But because there's still stuff in the code of where it needs to go next, it draws directly from RAM, which is random. And if you do a single line, it does all that math, takes too long, the screen draws it, and then the calculator goes, I'll just grab this number from RAM, and then it kills the game. But only if you do a single block, because it's adding 1 each time instead of like 4 or whatever. And it's 155 is the first kill screen, but that's not where Scuti got to. He got to the next one. So now people are doing speed runs for trying to get to level 55 the fastest. There's people who are like, well, how far can I go? Like past and not get a kill screen and stuff. I just thought it was really interesting the way that old like slow, it's stupid to call something that's calculating slow because it's doing it in a like 5 milliseconds or something ridiculous like that, right?
Yeah.
But it has to do the math so many times, and nobody thought they'd get to this level at all. Like level 29 was the end of the game as far as they were concerned because it was moving too fast. And people have pushed the game so far that it can't even math fast enough to continue to play the game.
They're technically 250 levels, I want to say.
Is that the hexadecimal end?
I think that's like as far as the game will be able to compute at all, kind of thing, before it shits itself. I think from what I read or heard about as well, like to get to where he did anyway, like they had to actually, not him specifically, but someone out there had to basically implement a fix for Tetris because it wouldn't let you go that far at all ever, I believe.
No, there is a fix so people can go past that with all that code worked out. But like on original hardware, it's just the tool assisted that found the kill screens in the first place.
Right.
But like he didn't even do it at level 55. He skipped that one because he was trying to save his run and then did it on the next kill screen. And he got it. Like I've watched it quite a few times because like his reaction is fucking priceless, man.
100%.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute. Good for him.
Like it was a really like sincere and like cool moment where you can see that someone has clearly achieved something that they've strived to do, and they shared in that moment with their community and with their audience and stuff like that. And then some silly bint news anchor is like, oh, go touch grass. It's like, fuck off.
I love how Bryan is about the news anchor. I mean, she sounds like a,
it's just
right
like
twat, but
how to shit on someone, especially a kid. It's like, come on.
Yeah, when
it's just national TV. No one has ever achieved before.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like there were speedrunners, like speedrunners stream all the time when they're speedrunning, right? It was a bunch doing Tetris, and then like people in the chat be like, Scuti's on a bit of a run right now. So all those speedrunners like just they stop their runs and we're watching him, and you just see a bunch of like other speedrunners who are running the same game just like lose their minds and be so happy for Scuti.
Getting really
good shit, dude. Well fucking done. I know you don't need to hear that because he's been on GDA and all that, GDAQ and all that stuff, but good shit. Don't listen to that Vin.
Yeah. Don't listen to her.
Next thing on the agenda is did you hear who's starring in the new Minecraft movie? You okay, mate?
I did see this on Twitter before you wrote it down. I was like, what the fuck?
Thing is, I knew about Jack Black being Steve. I didn't know Jason Momoa was going to be in it, and I didn't know it was going to be the dude who directed Napoleon Dynamite. When I found out
I
those
love
two bits,
Napoleon
I was
Dynamite.
like,
What is this movie gonna be?
I don't know, but it's gonna be amazing.
I'm so curious because I just watched Napoleon Dynamite not too long ago because man, that's such a fun movie.
100%.
Yeah, but it's fucking weird, right?
It's supposed to be weird.
it's
Like,
cool.
Yeah, no, it's. I like it because I like weird shit.
I
But
love
this is a Minecraft movie. This is sit down, eat your popcorn, bring your kids, give us money. What the fuck?
I think because what's his name? It's Hess, isn't it? Something Hess. Jared Hess.
Hess.
He's
Jared
worked with
Hess,
Jack
Jared
Black
Hess.
before on Nacho Libre. So
God, such
It's
a
a
good
weird movie too, actually.
that's
now
also
I
a
think
weird
about it.
movie, because technically it
Yeah,
was Jared
That's
Hess
a
and
bit
his
more
wife.
mainstream.
Nacho Libre was also a Nickelodeon film, if I'm correct. It's I think it was like originally supposed to be a kids movie. It's that they could do because Minecraft's kind of a weird game.
Yeah.
Like the whole some of the visuals and
Yeah, but a company, a CEO going, let's buy the Minecraft and make a movie out of it. They're not looking for Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna be Napoleon Dynamite, but I think they could do some pretty clever stuff with it.
Yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing.
I'm genuinely
what comes
interested in it.
Yeah.
I do like Jared Hess. Like I think that could be fun.
And I don't think there's been a single movie with Jack Black in it that I didn't like.
That's
At the very
true.
least, didn't like his performance.
Yeah, I watched.
specifically.
Well, I finally got around to watching the Super Mario movie, and I think Jack Black was wonderful as well.
Really good
the
singer
only
in like the Bowser voice as well.
Well, yeah,
He's a
great
cracking
singer.
singer.
Yeah, he's a great singer.
Pick of Destiny's a banging album, dude.
I think he was probably the only Pick of Destiny. Such a good fucking movie. That's my.
I learned Pulp after making Sappy watch it. It's actually a stoner movie.
No, really? You think?
I didn't realize. I was like, oh, this is a funny movie. And I'm giggling my fucking ass off. And she's sitting there going, huh? And I'm like, oh, this is a stoner movie.
Very much stoner movie.
Like, I know it's got weed references in it, but I never thought of it as a stoner movie.
There's weed and mushroom and shroom references in it. It's a great film. Wonderful film, and I love karaoke and Tenacious D. But I think he was great as Bowser. He's great in pretty much every role. If anything, you can always recognize him because we know who he is.
Yeah, true.
I think it could be fun.
I actually enjoyed the two Jumanji movies I watched with him in.
I haven't actually seen those
I love him in
yet.
School of Rock.
I enjoyed them.
I love Jack Black. He's fantastic choice.
A global treasure, not even a national one.
Yeah.
just
I want to
global.
watch Nacho Libre right now.
Post-stream shenanigans.
Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and the director of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Jason
They've
Momoa
got the brand of Minecraft, the biggest game. Well, okay, not the biggest game, but a massive
I think there could be
game,
something
a
real.
massive brand.
I think there's something real that could be done that's really good and really clever that will work with children.
Yeah, but will they make that?
Who knows?
I don't know. I mean,
Who fucking
lately
knows?
with a
Let
lot
them
of video
cook,
game
is what I
franchises.
say.
Yeah, let them. You know what?
A
Let
lot of
them
video
cook.
game adaptations have been doing pretty well.
Name three.
Well, they've done well. Castlevania, The Last of Us, and
Okay, Last of Us. That is done
Mario
well.
did well.
Mario, Sonic.
Super Mario did. Oh yeah, that was good. It didn't go like, oh my god, this is phenomenal.
No, but when I watched it was fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it was good.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Last of Us, Castlevania did it. Both Castlevania are great. There's two different series, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
movies though.
the new ones recently come out.
Movies.
Oh, Ready
Well,
Player One was really
Sonic.
good.
Thing is, Ready Player One makes a good movie.
That's a book.
Yeah,
That was a book.
Yeah, but it's not the one they made. They just went
No.
references. Not make a movie,
Yeah.
but the references
It was
in the
basically
movie.
it was the Big Bang Theory film. Like,
true.
Fucking was. That is spot on.
pretty much what it
Very
is.
true. Yeah, 100%.
Even the Ready Player One book,
Book is really
basically
cool.
the book's not
Yeah.
cool. bollocks is the book cool. The book is like 12 pages of a guy describing a room, and it's 12 pages because it's like, here is a DeLorean, here is a LG mouse, here is a other reference, here is another reference. Hold up, I'm making more references. Here is another reference, and then he sat in the chair. If you're making that
now, like they made the movie now, sure.
When it came out, at the time when it came out,
that book was fucking cool.
Groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking because like we didn't talk about video games.
That wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
Brian,
no, it wasn't.
I played VR during those times. Okay,
no, I know that
wireframe.
But I mean,
it ran at 3 frames a second.
But what I'm saying is that's why it makes for a better movie, because being told 20 different pop references because they're describing a room makes for boring reading. Whereas having it visually told to you...
It made for a boring movie, to be honest with me.
I mean, like, again, I'm more of how it transcribes. Like, I don't want to read 20 pop references when I want to read a story. Whereas if I can just see the pop references whilst the story is ongoing, that is a better way to have that type of storytelling, if you get what I'm saying. Or writing, rather. But yeah, so I'm stoked for the Minecraft movie.
I think it's going to be great. Like, I'm not really... I don't play Minecraft. I used to play Minecraft with I think I'm pretty sure I told you guys this. I used to work with kids with developmental disabilities for years, and I had a client who loved Minecraft. He was the greatest, but that game was like, when I played it, like, no joke, it would put me to sleep. It's such a relaxing game that I just I clonked out one time when I was working. I was like, I can't play this. I actually had to like tell me we couldn't play it anymore.
It's like, we have to stop or I'll just pass out.
Too much.
No, I love Minecraft. I've been playing Minecraft so long. I remember when they put logic in the game. When they put redstone in the game. Like,
I have actually never played
that a long time.
I've never played it. I've always gone, maybe give it a go at some point, but I've played Minecraft Dungeons. But that's only because it's not.
I haven't played Minecraft Dungeons. I know I got friends of mine who really like it. I think we were talking about doing like a Minecraft server one time, but like I just wasn't like that. It's not a game that I would play a lot for myself. But I know my nephews love it. Like it
was the first game I bought my nephew on his Switch.
It's such a charming game.
I think.
And do you know what he wants now for Christmases and birthdays? What? Can I have V-Bucks, please, Uncle? Yep.
You can,
because that makes me the cool uncle.
I think we briefly spoke about on a previous episode, but they did a survey, and like most Zoomers and kids especially for Christmas are actually asking for like digital currency, like V-Bucks and stuff like that, and like Steam vouchers rather than material things for Christmas. So yeah, that is the way it has gone. Digital currency has taken over the world.
But that's so easy for like a grandmother to get you a gift card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, traditional as well, gift cards.
It's funny because like I remember like we would kind of scoff at the concept of like, oh, you gave them a gift card. Oh, that's like, you just, that's just uninspired. And now it's like, that's just what kids want, man.
Yeah. It's what I wanted. Whenever my folks were like, what do you want for Christmas, Brian? I'm like, money. Just give me money.
Yeah, I was as a kid, I loved getting gift cards and money because like the amount of time, like I would get something like, you know, clothes or like I didn't get video games. My mom was not very supportive.
Let's call a spade a spade. You'd get shit for Christmas sometimes, whereas if they give you money, you then got what you wanted, or you could save towards the thing.
For me, it was Hanukkah. I got we celebrate Hanukkah when I was a kid, so like there wasn't you only got small gifts, so it wasn't, and it was usually like monetary. But like small increments, very small increments. So I would like save it up to buy like whatever I wanted. But like whenever I did get gifts, it would always be like, just give me cards.
What the fuck is this?
Grandma, will you give me a Bored Apes NFT for Christmas?
I got so much paint for Christmas. Because everyone's like, what do you want? I'm like, paint. I'm like, here's some money, buy some paint. Yep.
Yeah, if anyone asks me next year, I'm just going to be like, filament. Just all the filament for the 3D printer, please. I want all the colors.
Like carbon fiber filament.
For Christmas next year, Brian, will you make me one of those like lovely ladies?
Hell yeah. I want a ruby extruder.
I've already said, I think I posted on Instagram. I was like, if anyone does want me to print shit out for them, as long as they pay for the filament if they want a specific color, and the shipping, I'm happy to do it. So yeah, hit me up.
Oh yeah.
But what else have we got?
Pretty sure Kevin will take you up on that for something.
Just a giant ass skull. All the skulls
Ascos.
The PS5 Pro is getting analysts excited. They are very, very positive that in late Q3 this year, there'll be an announcement for the actual PS5 Pro. A lot of people are suspecting it's going to have
I just got my PS5.
Yeah, so did half the world, dude.
Yeah.
It was so hard to get one. I just got it.
Yeah, so it's rumored to go on sale some point next year in 2025. They also believe off the back of the Insomniac leak that the console is going to have some kind of like AI upscaling and stuff in it as well. Because from the leak, they saw that there was going to be some kind of AI upscaling in some of the future games. And they think, oh, well, these are games that are going to be basically aimed at the PS5 Pro. So if you are looking at buying a PlayStation 5, or if you've recently bought one or been gifted one in the last 30 days,
bought one.
Yeah, if it was in the last 30 days,
I haven't had mine for a year yet.
Potentially take it back and just wait another year, and you'll get a PS5 Pro instead. But yeah,
no.
Or, and hear me out here, just buy a fucking PC, dude.
We're not having this discussion again.
we're not having this discussion again.
We need to have this discussion.
No, we don't, because you are
console
wrong.
market is absolute balls, dude.
Yeah,
I don't even know which order the Xbox is going anymore.
My Switches alone,
that makes you
Peachy.
the exception.
Leave me and my Switches alone, Peachy.
You're the odd one out.
Make a PS6 for fuck's sake.
You're the odd one out. But yeah, PS5 Pro. Obviously, we knew about the Xbox coming out as well with their hybrid cloud thing, presumably going in the direction of permanent cloud with the next gen altogether. But we'll have to see.
Goody.
But obviously, that also brings
You
us
will
on...
own nothing and you will be happy.
I mean, technically, you don't own anything on Steam either.
Give me my money.
But
yeah, but I trust Steam.
True, I do have substantially more trust in Gaben, Lord Gaben, than I do in any other tech pro ever, pretty much. But that obviously brings us on to the Insomniac hack. That was quite a big deal. Some were dubbing it.
When did this happen?
The Insomniac hack was a couple of weeks before Christmas. And there
I think I saw something about it, but I don't remember much.
Yeah, so a lot of people calling it one of the biggest leaks in terms of game dev.
Big one, big boy one.
It was a big one. Obviously, you had Capcom, you had Grand Theft Auto 6 or Rockstar before that as well. So there's been quite a few big ones. It included employee personal information like passport info and stuff like that.
I'm looking at Polygon. It's 400 employees.
Yeah,
personal information up for download.
Yeah, so employees got doxxed. There was a lot of information about Wolverine, stuff like that. I chose to avoid it because I didn't want to look at half-finished gameplay and have my perception skewed. Because I'm actually looking forward to the Wolverine game, so, you know. But yeah, it was kind of just this sucky thing where I believe the hackers had attempted to hold them to ransom, and then Insomniac were like, nope. And
yeah,
then,
50 Bitcoin, which was equates to about $2 million.
Yeah, and then
and wow,
they were like, okay, fine.
Wow.
If you're not going to pay us, here's all the information on the internet. And a lot of people have been trawling through it. Obviously, that sucks because there's a lot of angles where this sucks. One, it sucks obviously to have your personal information thrown out onto the internet, and especially as someone who works in game dev in what is, let's be realistic, quite a toxic place, you know. Gamers gonna harass and things like that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like with like
I said the word. I don't make the rules.
I know. I got it. It's that's just like, it's one thing to leak the games, but like personal information, that's fucking low.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And that could put people's safety in danger.
100%. But the other angle, of course, is that these people are working on games usually for years at a time, and then someone comes along and just goes, let's just spoil the project and like unleash a bunch of info that isn't ready to be shown. And again, like I said, it's going to skew people's perspectives of the game, and they're going to, like when the GTA 6
will
one
affect the development of those games. It will.
100%. Like when the GTA 6 leaks first came out, people were like, that's what it looks like. And it's like, dude, this is footage from like a beta build or a pre-alpha build 2 years ago kind of thing. And
that was like with the Rockstar leak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're Okay.
Yeah, so people are going to make these weird comparisons, and like I said, it's spoiling things for these teams that are, at the end of the day, probably looking forward to showing you their game, their like project that they've been working on for years at a time, and it's to have that stolen, just I don't know, that feels like really sucky as well. And I hated that a lot of people were like actually covering the leak specifics as well. Like in the journalism space.
It's whenever you
if you're a news creator, you got to.
I mean,
it's
yes
out.
And no.
It's out now. You kind of got to.
Like, yes and no.
It's like,
sorry, go on.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like we're doing now. We're covering the fact that the leak happened. I think that is newsworthy. I think that's something that is worth telling.
You shouldn't discuss what the leak entails.
The information contained within, like there's no journalistic interest to say, oh look, this is specifically what's going to be in this game that isn't finished or actually completed, and like you're almost peddling like misinformation to a degree. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly.
By doing that.
And you're actually encouraging the behavior when you start doing that, because you're telling people. Like I remember like the Naughty Dog leak when like the Last of Us 2 was revealed, and like the plot points, and all you heard was just about what was actually leaked and what it entailed in the game, not like about how fucked up it was. Like the action was, and what was it, like somebody who had the developer tools or something like that? I can't remember what, like it was somebody who like worked on the game. But either way, you're just rewarding that behavior, because the whole point of having like of providing a leak like that or leaking things like that is to get the attention.
Well, no, it was for them to get money.
Money. Well, in this case was money, and a lot of times it is money, but what's the goal for the leak afterwards? Once it's out there, at that point, it's just attention.
This is something that I actually asked, because obviously I gave a few examples earlier. There was the Rockstar, there was Capcom, there's been Microsoft recently, and of course Insomniac. We've discussed previously about how game dev is, in terms of like the exchange of money, it can make a lot of money, but in terms of like how budgets and things like that, and like how much people get paid, it's not a lot of money. The other software development pays out substantially more. And it makes me wonder, why do they keep targeting the stingiest industry and not the ones who have
ripping off workers left, right, and center?
It's like in my chat, it's like, why can't you guys go hack like JP Morgan and raise debts? It's like, please do that.
Because no one
with your I would like that.
I guess attention, because no one would be interested in what's the next update for WinRAR. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like, we were hackers. We can't be benevolent.
No. What I'm saying is, like, I personally wouldn't, but yeah, news outlets are gonna cover that. Someone's gonna cover that. You might as well cover it. Like,
I think I can say
it's not their fault that it was leaked. It was leaked. They're covering it.
I think I can say that I'm following the right people. Like I do follow a couple of journos, and the ones that I do follow, both like in terms of like mainstream, like The Verge and Washington Post and stuff like that, and also obviously like some folks who do just YouTube and stuff, like Jake Baldino, Skill Up and stuff like that. None of them were like, oh, here's actual like contents of the leaks, kind of stuff. So I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth to go beyond the actual announcement of the leak.
You're kind of it's just kind of rewarding the behavior at that point. And honestly, like as somebody, like if a game of like, say I'm not like particularly interested, I'm the contrarian in this aspect when it comes to GTA 6. Like I have zero interest in the game. Just not really a big Rockstar fan.
Yeah, that's fine.
And like if I was to be looking forward to, I'm just using that as the example, was looking forward to it, it's like I don't want to have like my own perspective like tainted by seeing like the beta alpha like demos and have that paint my perspective of like what to look for to and have it and affect my decision if I want to actually purchase the game. And it's kind of it's just so trashy. That's all I can say. It's just such a trashy thing to do.
I don't want to aim this at like ethical hacking because it clearly isn't. But let's say Redfall leak. That's consumer friendly because it was a turd.
It was a turd. I mean, yeah, you can look at it like that. Why can't you leak the shitty game?
I mean, ethically speaking, I would definitely say that it's still unethical because you're still ruining someone's project and whatnot. Obviously, Redfall.
No, I agree. Like, it's not something I would cover, but people who do cover it, it is out. Someone's covering it. Yeah. Why don't you cover it? Like, I like understand that, but my personal
because that's not what's going to get the news. No one was looking forward to Redfall. They look forward to, like, what was it? Insomniac. I saw like Wolverine and Spider-Man and shit. Like, that's the shit people want. You know, so
people want information about things they like. So people are looking for that stuff. Content creators going to make. And I told you years
before Redfall even came out, like I didn't actually see any of the footage when I was working on the transcription for it. I was just working on the transcript, so I was listening to the audio mainly. And the whole thing, it's like, even myself, like before, just using that, since you said, like, why don't you just spoil that? It's like, I was listening to it. I'm like, who the fuck's asked for this shit? It sounds awful.
Nobody wants this. Nobody.
Yeah, so like, even pre, like before it was even like announced, I was just, like, as someone was working on that one, it's like, no one's gonna fucking want to leak that because no one cares.
I just don't think you should look bad on the people who did cover the leaks. I just think you should look more favorably on the people who were ethical about it.
Is look at the leak, you know, the people when they do cover the leaks, just focus on the leak itself, not what was exposed from the leak. I think that's, you know,
people do like integrity in their journalism.
Spread the leak further. I think that's what Brian's trying to say. Is it said like cover just the fact that it was leaked and what were the conditions surrounding it.
I don't think there should be limitations on reporting something. I'm just saying the people who do have ethics and didn't give the details for it, you should probably look at those as more ethical journalists rather than looking at the other people. Oh, those are bad people. They're not. They're just content creators who are covering a thing.
I wouldn't say that they're bad people. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're bad people, but they're making an informed choice to do something that is arguably douchey.
If you could have like that, they
didn't leak it though. Do you know? That's what I'm saying.
No, the argument is like even though they didn't leak it, pushing those leaks further is what I would like kind of like side eye a little bit as a consumer, kind of going like, oh, like, I mean, yeah, they did, yeah, they got leaked, but you're kind of like showing more of it. Kind of like pushing it to further to your own audience.
It's obviously not on the same level as the leak,
and then someone might pick that up and push it to their audience.
The leak is there; they can look at it. I understand why people are covering it, and
once the information is out there,
I don't think worse of those people is what I'm saying, but I definitely think better of journalists who are more ethical.
That's why I use like I side eye it, like not so much as like I'm calling them unethical. It's kind of like I don't know if I would do that.
For me, it's like, can you not? Like it's literally that. Like, can you not? Like the answer is yes, you cannot. At the end of the day,
and they didn't,
and they chose not to, and therefore I'm gonna go. Oh, all right, then we'll dick move kind of thing. I'm not gonna hate them for it.
I mean, the only person we should be painting as a bad person would be the leaker themselves, not the people who report on the leak. I would just say, argue that, you can at least you could side eye like, I wouldn't put like pushing it further out, like the information that was leaked instead of just reporting on the leak itself. But I wouldn't call them bad people or unethical. I wouldn't even call them unethical. It's just, they're doing their job, but the weird.
I hate it when people do things for clicks. Don't forget to smash that like button, by the way,
and like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Check out our Patreon.
Yeah. To summarize, I do hope that Insomniac gets things in place to prevent that in the future, or more robust ways to prevent that in the future. I hope nothing bad comes to the employees who had their information leaked.
I'm more concerned about the employees than anything. Like the game, it is a tragedy that the game got leaked, but the fact that their
just know
personal
that
info got leaked is the scare. That's the one I get. Like doxing, fuck that. Like in every way, shape, and form. Like that should never ever happen.
Yeah,
because it's not just. This isn't just like I want money or I'm going to really reveal your game. It's I'm going to put your life in jeopardy. Yeah. I want people to find you.
100%.
If they're happy.
Because you know there's going to be some dickhead.
The thing is that there is a very toxic gamer culture where like if someone's unhappy, I was looking for it. When it comes down to like, you know, we see it all the time when if a game is not, you know, received well, people get really toxic.
Oh, yeah,
so
100%.
Imagine having your personal, like if like Spider-Man or the Wolverine game comes out and it's not exactly that great, or they feel like something got bastardized in it, then now this guy's home address is out there.
Yeah,
let's
100%.
Find him. Let's swat him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know,
That's
there's
gross.
gonna be some dickhead who's gonna be like, "Oh my god, they made Wolverine taller than 5 foot tall. Bad game."
That's the thing. It's like
send abuse
they're
and stuff to someone's house.
They fucking haven't, have they?
I don't believe they have. I think from what I've seen or heard,
people will find
Wolverine's gonna be very,
they find the
like,
stupidest
true to
shit
comics.
to be upset about. They'll find the stupidest shit to be upset about. What was like Street Fighter? What character was it that they covered her up more? And it's like, no, how dare you?
Yeah, I think it was actually Cammy where they were like,
it was
"Oh
Cammy.
yeah,
She's the hottest character in the game."
That was the thing because they were like, "Oh, they've taken her out of the one piece suit or whatever. Oh my god, what are they doing?" And then obviously there was the Cammy flex, and everyone was like, "You know what? You're good. no, you're good. You're good."
Oh,
like, oh, okay. You know what? I think we're
so
okay.
Imagine like that when the news that she was more covered up came out. When it came out and people getting really fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And then you have the developers. All their personal info is just right at your disposal. It's like there's some lunatics out there who will absolutely swat these people.
Yeah. Let's move on to the final topic. So, keeping in
short, doxing and leaks, boo.
Yeah, doxing and leaks, boo. But yeah, so the next subject is regarding another development related. I don't want to say studio. They're actually a publisher. I'm actually wearing one of their t-shirts. Versus Evil.
Oh, no.
So they were an indie publisher, as contrary as that may sound. I don't know if you guys have worked with them before or anything like that. I've worked with them a few times. In fact, now they're done, I can talk about it. Versus Evil were the people that first approached me for doing the voice work for that for a trailer of theirs. And then they ended up not doing the trailer at all, but I still got paid, so woo! But yeah, so they basically got shut down like 3 days before Christmas. So
whoa.
Yeah, so like people who worked in social media, everything like that, they obviously were working on publishing various games, and like it just got dropped on them. They're like, by the way, we're closing the studio today, and they're like, what? 3 days before Christmas? What are you doing? So obviously I empathize because I was, you know, in their shoes a few days before that, but I'm just sorry to see it go because I think they actually, I've like I said, I've worked with them and I've had a pleasant experience with multiple employers at Versus Evil, but also they've actually had some like really cool games, particularly when I first started streaming.
Banner Saga.
I believe they did Banner Saga. They also did the Guild of Dungeoneering, which was one of the first games that they published that I played, and it's kind of like a simplistic D&D, but it's actually on like square paper and drawn and stuff like that, and it looked really, really quaint and cute. But there was quite a few games, and then like recently there was a horror game that came out that wasn't very good at all.
Stray Souls.
I think it was Stray Souls.
Because I'm googling them right now because I was like, what game? Because I wanted to like I don't think I've actually like played anything from Versus Evil, and
I'm looking through, and I've actually played a bunch, and it's one of my favorite boomer shooters on your mother gunship.
Yeah,
Killers of Eternity 2. I thought that was Obsidian.
So Obsidian with the dev, but Obsidian didn't have a publisher.
Oh,
it was published by Versus Evil, and then about 6 months after it got published, I think that's when Microsoft obviously bought them and then like acquired them and stuff.
Right.
They also made Stray Souls. That's a great game.
Yeah, so like Stray Souls was at least I think it's Stray Souls. It was a horror game very, very recently, and they like probably one of the most marketed games that Versus Evil did, and it was bad.
It's because bad. I get they got Akira Yamaoka from Silent Hill on it, and I think they were really trying to hype it up as like the new Silent Hill, and it's bad. I watched Moist Critical play it, and I was like, I was blown away by how terrible it was. I actually had it. Huh?
One game bringing down an entire publisher.
No, I doubt it was that, but it could have been that they were on the brink, and that was the reason why they were pushing the game so hard. Was like, if this might be like our saving grace, and it's likely that's what happened. And even though like there are bad games that can potentially like do well because like, you know, for the meme. And I actually had that game on my wish list. I think I downloaded the demo and I just never got around to playing it. So it looked pretty bad. Like it's not even like the fun kind of bad, you know.
It's just straight up bad, yeah. Like...
It was really bad. I think like it was like a boss battle where like the game would like the aiming would like bug out entirely and you couldn't shoot it or anything.
Final boss, you can stand in a particular place, like not even like line of sighting it, just standing in a particular place in the room, and it can't reach you, and you just shoot it to death. And stupid shit like that.
Oh, it was taken over by Tiny Build. Tiny Build owned Versus Evil.
So as far as I know, the entire staff and whatnot. So I think they've bought Versus Evil, the name and any of the IP that they own and stuff, but the actual like company just got shit canned. All the staff got laid off.
Yeah, that was in 2021. They fired everyone.
Yeah, this whatever I'm talking about now literally happened 3 days before Christmas. So
I mean that sucks. That's
very, very sucky. And as Peachy was saying, there's actually a few games on there that he's played and enjoyed, and likewise. So I'm kind of like gutted because they were
probably got keys for these, full disclosure. But I did enjoy a bunch of their games.
And I've always enjoyed working with them, so I'm actually genuinely sorry to see them go. So to anyone,
that is quite a shame.
To anyone from Versus Evil, if you happen to be listening, fingers crossed for you. I hope you find work elsewhere. And if anyone's looking for like particularly the folks I obviously interacted with the community managers and whatnot. So if you're looking for community managers, hit up the Versus Evil folks because they were very hardworking, very friendly. But is there any other subjects that you guys wish to cover before we end the stream?
I don't know how current this is, but there's still dribs and drabs of people being shit-canned by Embracer Group Fallout shit.
Yeah, Embracer is going to probably be letting people go for a long time. I mean, for those who don't know, basically Saudi Arabia were like, we're going to get into gaming because reasons.
Money.
And then Embracer were like, we're going to get into Saudi Arabia money. And they basically just got like loads of IPs under the expectation that they were going to have loads of Saudi Arabia money. And then Saudi Arabia were like, you know what? We're too busy chopping off the heads of journalists, so fuck you. And,
we've got a lot of human rights to violate over here, bro.
So you know, they went to the bone saw shop instead, and Embracer there left holding the baby, and now they have to lay off the baby, and that's it. So it's going to be a case of just them continuously like hemorrhaging projects, IPs, probably trying to sell as much as they can. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go down completely. Time Splitters.
They own Apogee, and Apogee makes some fucking fantastic games, and I'm really hoping that they can get out alive.
Yeah, it seems to be that they do seem to be trimming the fat first, things that are either in the works rather than like IPs that have actively got a following, like Time Splitters, for example. That one got recently shit canned, and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, some of the studios that they own survive. But
it's a sucky time to be a dev right now, man.
Yeah, dude, it's like every time we talk about another studio, it's like it's gonna be bad news.
Horrible.
Just give us something good.
Yeah,
These people are like giving themselves to us, and they're giving us so much like joy and entertainment that like we spend hundreds of hours with their games, and they're just getting shit canned left, right, and center, regardless of what they've done.
It's awful the way developers are treated.
There might be a silver lining in there somewhere, not immediate, and a lot of people will not get this, but we might see some more smaller development indie teams start to sort of coalesce, because there's a lot of people coming, and I mean a lot of people in the industry do know each other as well, and you can get some really great things out of that. It's it's not recompense for.
I mean, you just see some of these developers like start up their own studios instead, because some of these studio heads are just completely mismanaging it, and
that's how we got Deus Ex, the greatest game ever made.
I mean, it's okay. If you like immersive sims, I'm sure it's the best thing since sliced bread. Implying
there are people who don't.
I mean,
it's a rough time, and
it's rough. Well, it's because like there's a lot. I don't know about in other countries, but I know, like the amount of times you hear about the developers even be treated hired just as like independent contractors in the States, and it's like it's a garbage way to handle it, because it puts so much, it takes so much like responsibility off of the the heads, and like when it comes to the hiring process of providing them like adequate hours, keeping them
they overhire.
They overhire.
Buying companies overhire, and I just hope one.
No, it's just there's just no like it's bad when 5 years at a studio is considered a senior, like you've been there for a long time. That shouldn't ever be the case when it comes, and that's what unfortunately it is in that industry, and that's fucking shame, dude.
If you're a developer who's just been shit canned by a giant faceless corporation who didn't give a shit about you in the first place, that game you wanted to make before you got this job offer, do it. We want to play that. We definitely want to play that.
Do it in Fortnite Unreal Engine.
Oh, God.
Do it in whatever engine you want to do it in. But maybe don't. I mean, maybe that is the perfect engine. Maybe that is the perfect engine for someone.
I mean, I think it will certainly be a good starting point. It's basically, I think it's going to compete with Roblox. And we all know how huge Roblox is.
And how shitty it is. Who can be the shittiest, Fortnite or Roblox? Versus...
Roblox is shitty for a lot of reasons, but I don't think those reasons are going to carry through to Fortnite.
It's mostly the exploitation of child labor that they're shitty for.
So, yeah. Plus, it's the closest thing to the metaverse that we're going to get, isn't it?
It fucking is.
Apart from VR chat. VR chat and Fortnite, when they used to like Dragon Force or Dragon Ball Z Fusion, that's going to be some weird shit. That's going to be some weird shit, man.
I love jumping in VR chat and hearing some Nazi spout something at me dressed as a cat girl. That's my favorite time.
And then they give you a blowy.
That's what I look forward to.
The true metaverse.
True. Everything comes down to sex.
Oh, no.
That's how it is. That's how it is. But yeah. Oh, and I don't know if it's the director of Squeenix, but the main guy at Squeenix is still doubling down on Web3, blockchain, and AI and everything like that, which is so bizarre.
Oh, it's a last stand. It's the bastion of Web3.
Like, I can get maybe the AI because that's the new Web3. It's the new blockchain. It's the thing that's every tech company is excited about and is probably
that everyone else fucking hates because they can see the exploitation coming a mile off.
Yeah, and then in a year's time they'll be like, oh, we overhired, we have to lay off all the people that we hired for the AI shit because it didn't get to plan. Bye-bye. But it's still bizarre that it's still clutching to the Web3 and the blockchain stuff, and it's like literally even Ubisoft have been quiet
even
about
Ubisoft.
it. Like even they are like, we don't talk
that
about
should be
it.
a yardstick. If Ubisoft have gone, do you know what? Nah, maybe that's the time where you go, oh.
Oh, maybe we should rethink this.
100%.
Ubisoft is against
If
this.
Konami hasn't made it into a pachinko game, leave it alone.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh God.
Were there any other things that we want to cover
Konami.
before we do shout outs?
I'm good.
All good? You good, Peachy?
Space Marine 2 is still delayed.
It is still delayed, I'm afraid. I did tell you this was going to happen.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Delay your game.
Okay.
Make it good.
Make it good.
Good game is forever suck or some shit like that, right?
Yep, exactly. 100%. John Nintendo said it first.
I love John Nintendo. He's my fave.
He's my favorite Smash 4 character, John Nintendo.
John Nintendo. That's why I play in Smash.
Oh, where can we find you?
I am Pulp Fiction. I'm a former Instagram model turned variety streamer. You can find me on all my social media under Pulp Fictionally, except for Twitter, because someone stole my name. So I am Plop Fictionally, currently going by Plop Fractionally, but I have my arm back. So I got to think of it.
Fractionally, I like it.
I like it. Honey,
I
very
can't
funny.
take credit for that. Someone recommended that in my chat, so I have to.
Boo,
I
this
can't take
woman.
credit for that.
Boo. Peachy.
However,
Oh, sorry,
I have been taking a break from social media for my recovery. But now that I'm free, you'll see more of me soon, and I will be able to be PC gaming again. So it'll be wonderful to see you on whenever I stream.
Whenever that may be. Sometime
Whatever
soon.
that may be, I'm gonna be easing my way back in. I don't want to go all the way back and go all the way in because every time I burn myself out. Take my time this time.
Turn on the
However,
bell.
Turn on the bell, the notifications, follow subscribe to the YouTube, check out our Patreon, and Peachy, check out where Peachy is. Where are you?
Oh, I'm right here. Thank you. I didn't see you. Hello. Hi. Oh, didn't see you there. I'm Peachy Pixelate. You can find me on twitch.tv/Peachy Pixelate. I stream Thursdays through Sundays. There is a new indie show coming to Thursdays, which might be called scratchingtheitch.io. I don't know yet. Also follow the YouTube for some painting stuff coming. There'll be a lot of stuff on there in the new year. You can follow my Instagram if you like painting and Warhammer. I'm not too into Warhammer or nothing, and I've never brought it up in the podcast once, so
Never heard of it before.
He has definitely never brought it up once.
That's the Henry Cavill thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. I think
God,
so.
I hate it when I hear that. It's like, well, technically yes, but also, oh!
Henry Cavill's face to it, and that's all you need.
Yeah, so follow me on things. Peachy Pixelate, thanks. Don't hit the bell. Don't do it. Don't hit the bell. But turn on your notifications for my stream, which will be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. UK time.
Hit him right on the bell, chat. Hit him right on the bell.
Don't hit the bell. I can see you, Stephen. No,
Stephen.
There's someone called Stephen.
No
They just
bell.
went, what the fuck?
What did I do? How did you know I was about to flick the bell? And my name.
And that's me, Brian. Who are you, where, what? Hey.
Ooh, Banana Hammock. Hi. Thank you to my co-hosts, as always, for the pleasure of being able to do this show with them. This is the first show of the year. We've got many more to come. We actually, I believe, have the anniversary in a couple of weeks. I think it was it late January or late February that we did it? It's nearly,
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's nearly a
we
year
have to give
either way.
gifts away. I'm fucking skin. I spent it on V-Bucks.
Don't worry. But yeah, so thank you for watching the show. You can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, threads, everywhere, basically, as Brian the Pirate. I highly recommend you follow the Fully Rendered Twitter, which is Fully Rendered TV. We have a Patreon.
I knew I forgot one.
Check out our Patreon. We have polls on there. We're going to have Q&A questions, so you can submit Q&As. There's going to be specials. That the first special is one being worked on by Peachy and Pulp as we speak. You can probably guess what that is. It's about the Henry Cavill shit. And
Fuck you, Brian!
and yeah, so go check that out. It's patreon.com/fully rendered, and also the YouTube and whatnot, and whatever you're listening to this on. Tell your mum about it. Tell your mum about the show. And be like, Mum, you should listen to this. There's a man. He's got a beard. He's with another man who also has a beard. And then there's this lady. She bleaches it, but it doesn't mean the beard's not there. And you know, it's all a good time. It's all a good time.
Don't tell everyone, Bryan.
Tell anyone, I'm sorry.
They know.
But once again, thank you all
knows I bleached my beard.
very much for watching. Farewell. We'll remember you.
I won't.
Bye.
Bye.